RYYZN heads, Mark from Sparkly Shed, back to you guys here again. Today we're going to do a little bit of rust repair on this, and then we're going to get the paint stripped off totally, prime it, and get it all sealed off here. It's the middle of winter here, and I don't want this metal to be exposed any longer. Let's just go for it. So I've already started on this corner, and I will just flip it over here now and just show you what I've cut off it already. So I took off more material here just to try and see where this corrosion underneath is going back as far as, and just kind of got to a clear area. I had a look underneath here, it looks quite clear. I'm kind of happy because I don't need to move this bracket. So I'm just going to create a piece now to fill out here, and when I've that done, then I'm going to put on my rust preventative spray. Leave that for a couple of days, and then I'll be able to put in some zinc and then weld up along top here. So it's an intricate shape, as you can imagine. It's like that corner over there. So how do you do that? Start off with a little cardboard template. You fold it into all the areas and just kind of give yourself a rough shape of where it's going to be. On top of the shape, I have a curved bend, which is going to be tough, but sure, look, we'll give it a shot and see how things go. A few little watch outs then, obviously I have to go right up to a corner here, at the contour around here. I left excess material in this, which we can trim back afterwards. And that angle, even though it comes up at 90 degrees here, actually carries on straight, so I have to watch out for that also. So I'm going to cut out a piece of steel and start forming. Okay, I don't have great tools to do this next job, for sure. I'll give it a shot. Now, I'll cut out my little plate, which will fit into this general area. I have this shape, which I can etch from underneath, and then just start teasing the plate up. Hopefully by doing that I don't lose the position of this too much, because I could angle it all up and then have it sitting out here or out here. I think I prefer to have it out further. That way we can just remove the material. If we ended up bringing it out too far this way, we have to do a new one. So I'll give it a shot. So I'll just start teasing the angle down with a vice grip, believe it or not. Just kind of clamping in one corner and working my way around. And I'm going to keep doing that to see if I can keep this top part flat. I'll probably have to tap it down in the corner here especially. We'll just keep working it. Baby steps, follow the curve. What I'll probably do now next is try and match it in somewhere down here. Start clamping it in tight so it'll actually be locked to the curve. I've erred on the side of caution anyway, so I'll have excess material into the wind. That one now. Let's see how we go next. Now we're just clamping it all nice and tight. We can tidy this up afterwards. But once we have it in tight, it follows that contour, then the whole just fold away and meet up in there. I think I'm a little bit too far to the left, so we'll probably move the whole lot down that way just a little bit, and then we should be good to slap it in. Okay, so got the contour matched in. I kind of start by lining up the edge here, then I kind of mark the back here and here, and then I realized I know I reliably tell where that line was, so I actually etched a line onto the car and cut that instead. I just need to do this little corner here. I just want to make sure that this is all kind of nicely mated in before I go pulling on it like that. But yeah, it's quite good. It should hide fairly well now once it's all welded in. And because I peel back a bit more material here, I'm going to confirm that the metal is definitely fine back there. So it was worth doing. So we have our weld through primer sprayed on, likewise with this piece. I'll go here. So when it's all dried, we'll come along and do a butt joint weld all the way along through here, and that will allow us to get a good area where we can flatten it down and have a nice and flush look and close to the factory. We'll also put in a few holes here, but do a few plug welds and try and get something that looks similar to the spot welds that are on the car. We're going to look as close as possible as we can to factory. Okay, poured out these here. We're going to represent little spot welds that will kind of tie the two of them together on this end. And then it's going to go around now and do a little pattern round all the way around here. And it should look pretty tasty. Okay, so I got the wire brush in. I just took off this copper weld through primer because it was just really holding back the welder from working. So as I kind of said before, it's good for in between surfaces that you can't get through, but really you kind of want to remove it off the surface that you're actually welding. So I've gone under with the wire brush and then the little rotary end tool wire brush. Just get into the holes and we'll just see now if that's any better. Plate on, nice and flush, flat. Obviously a little bit of undulations in the material, the old material, so you can see it kind of rises high and low, but I'm not too worried. To be honest, it's not even an exposed part, because the cowl, as far as I know, comes down over here, covers this area. So it's kind of up to myself if I want to keep myself up at night thinking about something that isn't finished. We'll figure that one out. Other than that, happy out. And I'm not too worried about here because we're going to have seam sealer around this anyway. I'm going to be seam sealing everything. I'm not going to have any opportunity for any bit of moisture to get down deep into any of the joints. It's just going to be totally sealed up. Okay, just doing a quick recap of where we land with the floor in the front. So our seam sealer is in. Our floors are relatively well cleaned off and we've got a lot of rust treatment put in place. As you can see over here. Plates it all up the front. Did this yesterday. Nice little bit of work with paint remover and the wire brush. Lots of dirt in my face. Likewise with over here. All down underneath. So now we have the underside of the floor that can come up either side of each of these arches. And then we took a few goes of this yesterday where we took off several layers. Now we're down to the last layer, so I'm going to go into the wire brush now and clean this off. Then we can get the front. Essentially what we can do then, we can just basically prime out this whole front area, seam seal it, and for like a little area like down there, we can put on a bit more rust treatment, rust preventative. And then we can start sealing up all this front area, which will be a treat. After that then I will finalise anything up in the engine or the wiper cowl, and that will be pretty much all the bottom in and out and all the front done. This is going to be block sanding for the most of it because I want to have a nice polished finish on that. So that summarises where we land now. Not bad for a couple of days work. Got to know this car very, very well. Every tiny little speck of potential rust is dealt with. I know I could have gone on the road of getting it sandblasted, but once again I just didn't want to get sand down into the crevices of all the chassis and gathering moisture and rusting from the inside. It's not my cup of tea. I had to get a little bit more paint strippers in a couple of corners in here, so we're going to leave that for the day. Let it finish off. Nice sparkly. And then the typical area for North American Datsuns. A little bit of battery acid will spill out over the years and kind of corrode the whole area. It is rock solid, all surface, thank God. Just the area I had to attend to is where it could have potentially leaked down in here, but we cammed that within with a bore scope and all is fine. So we'll just treat it from the inside out. And now we just do the last little bit of cleaning. I'm going to seam seal. I might see if we can do a nice little job around here to make it blend in nicely. And that'll be the front end done. And then after that we're going to go and concentrate on the next phase, which is up here, the wiper cowl, just to make sure wiper mechanism and everything is translating over from the left hand drive to the right hand drive. So happy out. Easy heads, that's it for this episode. Quite therapeutic actually cleaning off all the old paint and rust off this yoke and getting to the stage there where we can seal it up now. So the next episode we're looking at putting on some seam sealer and priming up the whole car, making it safe for this winter. So all the likes and subscribes as always, guys, please throw them my way. I'd really, really appreciate that, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.